Once upon a time, there was a castle that was surrounded by a vast, dark, and dense forest. In the castle lived a prince and a princess. The princess was still young and beautiful, but her love for the prince had already faded. Unhappy, lonely, and bored, she locked herself up for days on end in the most remote room of the most remote tower. She had always been of a rather melancholy nature, and the dark, dreary forest that surrounded the castle did not exactly help to lighten her spirits. In any case, she hated trees and the shadows they cast. She hated the smell of mushrooms, the eerie call of the owls at night, and the damp moss that gave way under her feet. She longed for light, wide open fields, and the touch and voices of other people. As long as she remembered, this yearning had been carved into her soul. And then there was this other misfortune, the prince. A selfish husband, aggressive, glum, and completely lacking in charm. In short, an unfortunate choice. Well, as for choice, the princess had not really had any. Her life had been mapped out for her by others, until one day she had had enough. He disgusted her. He disrespected her. There was neither love nor even pity left in her heart. Without thinking, she got up and left, without realizing at that moment how brave a decision it was. She didn't know that it would hurl the prince into an utter state of misery, that it would, indeed, undo him. She left everything behind, her priceless jewels, her lavish robes, and her whole glamorous future. She only took Henry, her favorite horse. The air was crisp and cool, the day was young. With every turn of the path and every clearing they crossed, the princess felt lighter, relieved, as if a cold metal band was slowly loosening from around her neck. The prince's heart sank when he saw she had gone. Anxiously, he started rambling through the castle. He looked for her in its many dark corners, in the cellars and in the towers and the deserted ballrooms. He stumbled along the empty corridors and up and down the massive staircase, sick and lonely, awaiting her return. But she kept moving away from him, day after day. The forest seemed endless. Some parts were so wild, it would not have surprised her to see fairies or dwarves by the wayside. They could have pointed her in the right direction. But there were none. Only rabbits that frightened the horse. Maybe she was going in circles. Maybe she was riding further and further into the darkness. There were troubles ahead. Such as the day Henry, her darling horse, disappeared, and she called for hours in vain. But the difficulties always passed, and there were calm nights in which the princess was hopeful, and knew there was a way out of the maze. Maybe more than one, but she had to find it herself. She did not know if luck was on her side, if it was luck that she needed. The stars had no answers for her either. And then, one morning, the beginning of a new day, the princess dropped her hairband into the river and followed it. All the way to a wide open plain. Now the sun was warm on her skin, the sweet smell of grass was in the air. The forest lay behind her, a new life ahead. Dejected and lonely, the prince took poison. But not enough for a quick death. In utter despair, his strength dwindling, he closed all the shutters and all the doors. Light had to give way to darkness. Life was running out horribly, horribly slowly. The princess had found what she had been looking for, and it was so much more wonderful than she had imagined. She was free, free to make a new start. Yes, it was him, dear faithful Henry, brave horse, kind companion, that had followed her all the way into freedom. The princess kept riding for a long time, until she reached a big, beautiful country with rich meadows and huge lakes and kind, generous people. There she stayed and never had to bear the weight of a crown. But every day, for the rest of her long, happy life, she wore the silken hairband that had shown her the way.